When we last left you, we had just made our way to Arizona for Overland Expo West, where we got to hang out with patrons, old friends, and fantastic fans, before heading over to the Xpedition Trailers booth and hitching up to something very different from our previous trailers. Alright, it's time for something different. Today, we're going to borrow this trailer from Artie and Stacy to put it through its paces while doing some hands-on testing in the wilderness. We're very curious to see if this trailer will be a good fit for our family travels, especially now with a new baby keeping us on our toes. The plan is to camp out of this unit as we slowly make our way back north to Utah, taking mostly back roads and chasing some epic camps and scenery along the way. To be honest, it was kind of a surreal and somewhat emotional experience swapping out trailer brands, especially when you consider that our family's been running turtleback trailers since 2016, and with many of our own efforts and insights having gone into the innovations found in the more recent models. But with Turtleback's recent unfortunate business drama and yet another change of ownership for the brand, we're thinking it's time to move on and let the dust settle on that chapter as we wish the new owner and team the best of luck and a somewhat sad farewell.
Kevin, would you like some popsicles?
All day long. We could just leave
all day long.
We could just leave.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Caroline will appreciate those, especially being sick. So. On the other hand, we're very excited at the prospect of consulting for a company that is owned and operated by a family, much like ourselves, who has old-fashioned blood, sweat, and tears invested in creating a company committed to building some of the highest quality trailers in the world. You'll want to keep an eye on these folks, because this is going to get very interesting very soon. All right, here we go.
There you go, man.
Let's do it. After getting a walkthrough of the finer system operations with Artie, we were hitched up and on our way to penciling in a new chapter of adventure and a whole new trailer configuration. We had rented an Airbnb to help ensure the girls had a good place to rest during the show, and also to make sure we didn't keep up half of the expo campers if Abigail decided to sing the song of her people late into the night. You're welcome. All right, folks, well, we are at our Airbnb where Caroline is currently recouping from, I guess, a cold or something like that. Thankfully, she's doing a lot better with some meds, and now we get the fun task of outfitting this puppy with all of our gear, and it's... The anticipation is building. We're getting really excited for this.
It's like Mary Poppins' purse.
It really
it just
is.
keeps giving.
It really, really is. All right, folks. We are wrapping up our stay here at the Airbnb, trying to get Caroline all up to speed. Got Abigail all strapped in, ready to go. Let's check in on Caroline and see how she's feeling. So, Caroline, how you feeling?
Better.
Better?
Much improved.
100% or what?
99.9.
Whoa! Let's do this then. What about you, young lady? Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to go bye-bye?
Ready?
You excited to try this bad boy?
Oh, yeah.
We definitely brought a lot to this show. So we're going to have to work on all this as we travel just a bit. Figure out where it's all going to go. Most of these are still empty. We just didn't have time to pack it up. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Alright, since this is not our trailer, but I do this every time anyhow, just making sure everything looks good. Chains are on, pins in, plugs in, pins in, safety is attached.
Okay, I'll look safe.
It was time for us to head to the wilderness and begin our shakedown, but apparently we weren't even going to get out of the driveway before an issue stopped us in our tracks. Well, just as we were getting ready to pull out, check engine light. So thankfully I got my blue driver. Plug that into the OBD2, run a little scanny scan.
Little diagnostics.
Little diagnosticies. See what's up with her. Evap. I suspected as much.
What does that mean? EVAP?
Fuel system. Alright, well, I'm just going to clear this one. This is the same code that the 4Runner pulls every now and then whenever the long range tank is completely empty and you have a big temperature shift overnight or as it's sitting. Yeah, I just clear it with the code reader here and it clears it right up. I'm not sure what's causing that. I don't understand the process behind all this, but ever since we put the long range tank in both the 4Runner and the GX, we get this. So code's cleared now, and we're ready to roll.
All good under the hood. Goodness.
We've kind of inadvertently created a post-expo tradition where we stop at Cracker Barrel for some breakfast that's reminiscent of our Tennessee heritage. What's next?
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans.
We didn't have a very good meeting before we left.
Chaos
Meeting
ensued.
of the minds. So you grabbed a few things, I grabbed a few things, and pots and pans was one of the things we did not bring.
All right, so to our favorite spot. So there's the skillet that we like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unfortunately, that was probably the worst stock Sportsman's Warehouse we've ever seen. It seemed like kind of like a half-size Sportsman's Warehouse. So Abigail is snoozing soundly, so just gonna wait here in the car, let Sarah go get a few things. Now, the nice part about having this size trailer is we don't have to worry so much about collapsible pots and pans, and so we can go with something a little less expensive instead of leaning into some of the super lightweight, compact options. Oh, what do we got here?
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans. Fancy.
Yeah.
Walmart special.
Hey, listen, for how much we film and, show you guys what we're cooking, I want it to feel fancy.
Plus all of our other camp stuff is getting pretty wore out.
Pretty wore out.
Yeah. She's the master of her craft.
I know.
All about that efficiency. Look at that. Pro move, removing the lid. Oh, can she stuff it though? Come on, you can do it, Mama. You got this. You got this. Come on. Nailed it. That's a pro move right there.
You've been traveling full time when you try and find to put trash somewhere beside your own trash can.
Finally, after our somewhat chaotic start to our northbound adventure, it was time to find dirt and begin testing this fancy trailer in some real-world situations. And I had just the place in mind. All right, here we go. First time airing down with the loaner trailer. Just outside Flagstaff. We're not going to get too far away from civilization until we get a feel for everything. What you got there?
I'm trying a hat. Not much of a hat person, but I'm getting old. I need to keep the sun off my face.
There you go. Hey, looks good.
We'll see.
Even when the rain pours down, even when the light seems like it's fading, even when your heart aches, feels like it's gonna break, that's when you sing out loud. We're gonna shine like lightning, even if our back's against the wall. We're gonna shine like lightning.
Well, we've got a lot of miles to go before locking in our opinion about this trailer's performance. Right out of the gate, I was surprised at how stable it was compared to our old orange turtleback, which could get some serious sway going in the suspension. The trade-off, though, is this one has a slightly wider track, longer hitch to axle length, and, as expected, more tongue weight. But we also soon discovered that the center of gravity was far lower than it appears at first glance, thanks to its water tank resting just above the independent suspension and the fact the whole thing's constructed out of about 95% aluminum. While we had to swing just a bit wider for turns compared to our previous trailers, our quickly growing confidence in its suspension and balance made it a comfortable unit to tow even on the rougher stretches of trail. But again, we're just getting started here.
We're gonna shine like lightning, like we've got nowhere to go.
Sarah was a bit impatient to dig into the built-in kitchen, since for the past couple of years we've been operating out of a collection of totes with our utilitarian trailer setup. Now, access to our food, utensils, and fridge was as easy as opening 2 latches, which made Mama Bear very, very happy. What was that?
I'm just in heaven.
You are?
Yeah.
It's next level, isn't it?
Yeah.
No digging totes out?
No. I mean, everything is just thought out. And the little table right at the fridge.
Yeah, this is lunch mode here, right?
Yeah.
We're not fully deployed, just
No.
quick lunch mode. So awesome.
I know. I love it.
The wild part here is that the kitchen isn't even fully deployed yet. It's designed in such a way that all lunch items are still accessible without having to move or slide out unnecessary modules, making it a quick evolution to whip up some trailside sandwiches and get back to exploring.
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Look at all that healthiness. For our first taste of off-road travel in the borrowed trailer, we decided to return to the Cinders OHV area outside of Flagstaff. If you've been around the channel for a while, then you'll remember this spot from a few years back when Ronnie Dahl came to the US for a visit and we got to play around with Overland Dad and the whole Light Force team on this alien landscape. But since the girls didn't make it on that run, it was the perfect opportunity to show them this volcanic playground covered in cinders and ponderosa pines. All right, well, we had to stop to give Abigail a little snacky poo, and decided we're just gonna camp here. This will work. While this might not be an epic spot by any means, it is mostly sheltered and the wind seems to be wanting to mess with us just a bit, so we need to go through some of our camping gear and get it organized. We kind of rushed and got it shoved into the cabin, and obviously somebody needs to sleep in there, so we're gonna fix that up, fix some dinner, and try our first night in an Xpedition Trailers Voyager. So this thing's been indispensable, right?
Yeah.
Not the highest quality off-road or on-road, but it's a mobile perch for Her Highness Queen Abigail.
Dad,
Yeah,
are you excited to sleep?
I am. Let's get our tent up. While we could all snuggle up inside the cabin of this trailer in inclement weather, Caroline and I wanted to try out the 23-0 Kabari tent and leave the cabin for Sarah and baby Abigail. This means they will have the advantage of a climate-controlled sleeping area, and Caroline and I will have the advantage of some sound deadening if Abigail has a sleepless night. This is a win-win situation for now, though we do have some creative ideas on blending these two sleeping situations together in the future. Get ya?
It's perfect!
Good.
With the clothes on. That in the box. I'll be
How's it going in here?
Good?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You fixing our hot mess?
Yeah. Trying. I mean, we're just gonna stay a hot mess till we have our own one day.
Right. Hello. How's it going? What do you think? With our camp set up in just a few minutes, it was time for Sarah to dive into the kitchen again. This time, fully deployed in all its glory for creating something delicious. It would seem Abigail was also excited with the new camping style and refused to take her evening nap. So, I handed the camera off to Sarah to show you a bit of the dinner process while Abigail and I took a long walk through the surrounding pines. Yes, parenting is a bit more involved lately, but we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Got some ground beef going, some green beans. Dad's on nap duty. Someone wants to talk about it rather than nap about it. So I was going to talk for just a second if you want to walk that way. So there is a very fancy, yummy way to make beef stroganoff. I have a couple different ways that I like to do it. Sometimes I like to do it with the fancy way and by scratch. And then I have two fast ways. One is with ground meat, can of cream of mushroom soup, a little bit of sour cream, mix it together, call it good enough. Another way I like to do it is with onion soup mix and a little bit of sour cream and ground meat. And that's what we're doing tonight with green beans and Ben's original. So, should be yummy. Let's cook.
Our very first day in this trailer was in the books. We were so impressed that in spite of the challenges and chaos, we were still relaxed and enjoying the experience, thanks in part to the benefit of all the added amenities, making the daily camp setup and chores a breeze. We're just getting started though, so be sure and join us again next time as we put more trail under the wheels of this impressive unit and decide whether or not this is going to be a good fit for the Lifestyle Overland family. Until next time, stay curious and remember to leave it better than you found it. Well, with a freezer, we get to have fun treats. Used to call this Napoleon ice cream when I was a kid.
Why? More strawberry.
More strawberry?
Lots of strawberry.
Gotta get it balanced though.
Improved.
Enjoy.
I wish he.
How's it going over here? Little miss doesn't want to nap. She acts like she's ready for a bite. Yeah.
Here.
How does it feel to have a real working sink again?
It's nice.
Yeah.
Especially on my back. Gotta take advantage when the baby's happy.